Yeah, just getting off the practice field, bounced around about an hour and a half out there, coming off of the game against Nebraska again. Hard-fought game over there in Lincoln. And, you think about where we were back in May and when we took the job. And, I told our team this about, the steps and strides that have been made over a very short period of time, where the expectation for us really was a walk to go in there, battle, challenge, and come out of there with a W. We did not do that, but I think it's a testament alone to the connection and culture of this locker room and team that the expectation was to go out there and do that. And we've made a ton of strides over the last 3.5 months. Hard-fought game, didn't get the W that we wanted, and now we have to get ourselves prepared and move on to a very good Coastal team coming in here at noon Saturday at 12. I think the resiliency and the heart and toughness and grit and culture of our locker room is very strong. You have to look at the game for what it is. You have to look at the facts of the game. 14-3 in the fourth quarter. We have the ball, and we have an opportunity to make it really a one possession game in the fourth quarter against a very good Big Ten team on the road. If you asked me when we took the job in May if we were going to be in the fourth quarter with an opportunity to win the game, I would have said that we did enough things right. Now in the fourth quarter, we didn't make enough plays to close the game out. Nebraska made enough plays. Credit to those guys coming away with the big interception there in the fourth quarter, which really got them going and really pulled away there in the fourth. But when you watch the film, a lot of resiliency, a lot of toughness. 11 of 22 on third downs. The defense held the Nebraska ball carriers for 106 total yards on 31 carries. The 100-yard mark is over the clip that we want, but the 3 yards a carry is an average that we feel like we can sustain and put ourselves in games to win with. Martinez did an outstanding job of making plays. You look at the long run in the second quarter. We had a free blitzer right there. He made a play, made a guy miss, and it resulted in a long run. And then they had the big pass play right before the half, which gave them a little bit of momentum headed into halftime. But our team responded well, scoreless in the third quarter, and then 14-3 in the fourth quarter, and we had every opportunity to win that game.
Conversely, with that, now you've gotten a chance to watch the film, get a more accurate view of your team. What areas do you think you need to improve on to prepare for it?
Yeah, big plays is an area that we preach over and over again that Nebraska hit us on, one on the ground, a couple through the air. And they happened, and we have to address them and get those corrected. We spent a lot of time in film session on Monday in corrections, getting those issues addressed and resolved. Also, a couple drives stalled with false start here, and a flag here. A couple flags throughout the course of the game. There were some combative flags, and those kind of are what they are a little bit to a sense, but. Everything that was on that film, there wasn't a piece of that film that we didn't peel back the layers in the onion and to see what we have to do to continue to improve this team. So we addressed it all with our team. We had a healthy meeting on Monday, and we're moving forward and getting ourselves prepared for Coastal.
How would you assess the pass defense and not some of those long plays that you guys did?
Yeah, just the big pass plays is an area that we're addressing that we have to correct. So. Area that it was good to see guys respond off of a couple of them, but a couple plays hurt us. And what do? You watch the film, you point out the mistakes, you make the corrections, you rep them during the week, and then you prepare yourself for a new opponent coming in.
Well, what does facing two opponents like Nebraska and Coastal Carolina back-to-back do as far as preparation and to give you more insight into what your team is made?
Sure. There's an element of carryover just with the threat of a running quarterback, with Coastal's quarterback and with Martinez from Nebraska. So there's elements that maybe aren't the same but that are similar that we can build off of. And obviously there's new scheme with the new opponent that we're going to introduce to Coastal. But with the option, with the element of a run, a pitch, and a quarter, and the load options and those kind of things that we saw last week, there's going to be a little bit of carryover this week. But Coastal's unique in what they do. They present their own issues and formations and problems, and we're putting our plan together to stop a very talented quarterback and a very good team coming in here Saturday.
You talked about being here in May, and you just what do you want to see? Because you're getting to know your team
Sure.
as much as they're getting to know you.
Right.
What do you want to see from your team in how it bounces back? I mean, you saw it, beat Wagner, but now that it's faced its first test of adversity, what are the key things you want to see from this team and how it bounces back, and especially against the ranked opponent?
Yeah, I think, when you look at the result, your culture and standard, you look at the result, it can't just be tied to a result because you'll ride a roller coaster throughout the season. I mean, what we talk about every single day is a systematic approach in how to improve our locker room, improve our connection, our culture, and our overall play and production on the field every day. If we walked away off the road and beat a Big Ten opponent on the road, we would go right back to the same approach. What were the corrections that need to be made? We look at ourselves very critical through multiple lenses. We start with our own self and our coaching, and what are we teaching? What are we coaching? And get the answers there first from a player personnel standpoint. Who are we asking to do what assignments, and what adjustments or changes need to be made if necessary? And then just from an overall scheme standpoint, are we matching up people for people? Schematically, is it sound? Offense, defense, and kicking game, and just continue to remain in the area of being critical, and with the goal of improving yourself and improving your team every single day. I think sometimes you can look at a result and then you can think that you need to, insert a different process, and the process is the process, the results are the results. You look at the facts off the film, and then you go back and you make adjustments and changes and continue to emphasize what we need to emphasize and prepare ourselves for the next opponent.
How would you describe Coastal's offense? It's going to be like another scene.
I mean, there's similarities to Nebraska. It's unique in the essence of, they attack you on all three layers of the defense. They put pressure on the line with the run game. The element of the option, always with eye discipline and assignment football, and they have a very sound and a very potent throwing attack and passing attack that you saw last week against Kansas, where they were able to hit some big plays down the field, throwing the ball over the top. So they attack you on all three levels. I think they're a very confident team, very well coached. Quarterback makes them go, and it's going to be a good challenge and test for us. I mean, this is a team that's won a lot of football games. Coastal has it over the last, course of really the last year and a half, and they have a lot of confidence coming in here, and I think it'll be a very good challenge for us on Saturday at 12.
Coach, playing two heavy hitters in a row, how are you guys keeping up the confidence? I know it's early in the week, but how are you guys keeping up the confidence to be able to play a top 25 team this weekend?
Sure. I mean, truthfully, when we look at them all as heavy hitters, if you don't think they're a heavy hitter, just lose to one of them and you'll see they're all heavy hitters. So to us, it's looking ourselves in the mirror and our standard of play, how we play the game. We apply a game plan to a specific opponent, okay, and you look at that opponent for who they are and what they do, and then you look at yourself, and it starts with our play style, and then we talk about the ball every single day, how we protect the ball, how we attack the ball, how we leverage the ball, how we chase the ball, how we get the ball back for the offense, how we advance the ball on offense. Everything that we do involves the ball every single day, creating the average starting field position every single day through special teams flipping the field. You saw that punt that Kyle made against Nebraska, was at 80 yards, where we had an opportunity to flip the field and give ourselves some great field position in that game. So through teams and kicking game, how do we flip the field, creating explosive plays, eliminating explosive plays, making and breaking tackles, and then ultimately knowing and respecting all situations in the game. It was a great job by our offense against Nebraska right at the end of the half. We had a field goal opportunity that we missed, but we put ourselves in a position to kick a field goal right before the half in a 2-minute situation, hit a chunk play on the sideline, a need 5, need 10 situation we talk about all the time where we need 5 or 10 yards. We were able to hit that out route, advance the ball, send the kicking team out, get a field goal attempt right before halftime. We missed it, but we gave ourselves the opportunity to score right before the half. So knowing and respecting all situations is something we always talk about, and we're just building our culture and learning as we go right now.
Coach, you talked about facing back-to-back mobile quarterbacks. It seemed like Martinez, other than the big run, for the most part, you didn't let him beat you too much. What did you guys learn about QB contain and that you're carrying over into this week in terms of keeping Coastal Carolina's quarterback from doing the same thing?
That's a great question. I mean, mobile quarterbacks always present a threat. I mean, even, we were in Dallas last year. I mean, we played Kyler Murray in Arizona. We played Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. The element of a running quarterback just gives you another layer that you have to defend on defense. We had 3 blitzes against Nebraska. We had unblocked blitzer at the point of attack. And Adrian did a great job of making people miss. One of them turned into a really long run. We would call those same calls again in terms of putting a person in position to be successful at the point of attack. It goes down to fundamentals and technique. How do you tackle? Not that you missed the tackle, but why did we miss the tackle? How do we drill the tackle? From the approach to the contact to the finish to the long stride, short stride, balance and body control, shuffle shoot, and how you get a guy on the ground. And at the end of the day, you got to put a guy in a position to be successful. We felt like we did it a couple times with getting a guy at the point to make the tackle. But mobile quarterbacks are always an issue. They're an issue in the NFL. They're an issue in high school. Those guys always present another layer to the game plan. We got a guy. I mean, we have a couple guys on with Plummer on our signee from this past season that's doing a great job and showing us some examples. And in a couple situations, in small doses, we're using Matt Myers a couple times just to run a little triple option and just give us another quality look. And we have mobile quarterbacks ourselves, so we see it all the time in practice ourselves. And it's something we just got to address, and we have to approach it the right way and put ourselves in the right spots.
On that Martinez run, it was Gaddafi right that missed him on the blitz, but then chased him down.
It's a great testament.
Is that a teaching moment?
It's the first play we watched as a team. It's third down. Nebraska goes to an empty set. We get them back for game corrections, and there's nothing that we don't talk about and we don't address. We have a guy unblock Gaddafi at the point of attack. It's third down. Adrian Martinez does a great job making a miss. But what you see is a culture, and you see a guy that doesn't give up, and he pursues the quarterback. It's a long run, 60-plus yards down the field, but ultimately the guy that missed the tackle is the guy that made the tackle and gave us an opportunity to play another snap on defense and play one more down. So you what do you want to take away? You hate that he missed it, but you love the fact that the guy didn't give up on the play. And it's a credit to him, and it's a credit to our culture and how hard he plays.
Kyle talked about the fact that you guys didn't finish a lot of drives as being the big problem offensively. How do you work on that this week? How do you improve the ability to finish against a team like Coastal Carolina?
Sure. I mean, a piece of it is execution. A piece of it is making sure we're disciplined with all aspects of our overall play. You're 1 of 4 on field goal attempts. And that's the result and the information off the tape. We talk about getting in the red zone, efficient plays to progress the ball down the field to give us touchdown opportunities, and some drive stalled in the fringe high red zone area and in the low red zone area. So you just got to execute. It really gets back to execution. All 11 guys doing their job, and we pointed out those mistakes, and also looking at it from a schematic standpoint, what we're asking guys to do to put ourselves in a position to capitalize and come away with touchdowns.
Does it help the preparation in any way that your program has familiarity and connection with the Kansas coaching staff and players down there? And can you learn anything from that connection?
Not necessarily. It's our game plan and our approach. Our defensive coordinator, Joe Carlton, was in the Sun Belt before at Arkansas State as a defensive coordinator. He's has some familiarity with Coastal and what they do. It's going to take all 11 on defense. It's going to take all the coaching staff, put our minds together to put a plan in place to stop a very potent offense. They run the ball very well with efficiency. They have the triple option, which provides a lot of detailed assignment football, and then they have a throw game where they push it down the field a good amount, and they got some guys on the outside to make some plays. So we're staying in-house, and we're meeting as a staff and going through all the layers that we need to go through in preparing our players the right way.
Coach Williams has really developed a go-to receiver for you guys. How have you kind of done that, and how is he also leading off the field? Being only his first season in Buffalo?
Sure. Number 3, Keon Williams, is a guy we mentioned a month ago. or right before the season began as a guy that was just very mature, very dependable, as a guy that we can trust. He's a guy that's just locked in. You know, he's got the same approach every single day, taking notes, notebook out. Yes, sir, no, sir. How can I improve? He goes out there, he's almost catching 100 yards a game right now for us, and he's making plays with the ball in the air. He's winning one-on-ones. He plays tough. He practices tough, and he's living the culture every single day. Very proud of him and how he's progressing so far. We got to continue to improve him, change his best, and change our best with how we teach and coach him. But he's got a bright future in front of himself.
What does it mean to have this program internationally televised? Having all eyes on Buffalo.
Sure. Well, I got my white shirt on for the 12 o'clock whiteout. So make sure that we all wear white at 12 o'clock on Saturday, ESPN2. So we're excited about it. Anytime we can get national exposure, especially to the recruits out there. Buffalo's a big-time program. We send guys to the NFL. We're an AAU institution. We graduate doctors and lawyers and people that go on to be engineers. We can do, and you can do anything you want to do here at the University at Buffalo. And anytime we can showcase our football team on a national stage and a national level and play at a high level, we think that's great exposure for the university, for the athletic department, and for our players. And we'll have a number of guys that are coming up in this year's draft that are going to get a chance to get evaluated by scouts on TV to see how well they play. So I think anytime you get national exposure, it helps every single person. What we have to do now is prepare ourselves to go out there and play well.